What? Where? I'm live. All right, but where? What is it called? Okay. Fuck. Okay. Guys, we might have to pivot here. There might be some type of chase. I don't know. The hell kind of website is this? Is this live? I guess this is live.
He is. He's in one of the breakdown lanes.
He's in all
there.
the breakdown lanes. He goes from the left side breakdown lane to the right side breakdown lane. And if you just saw on the left breakdown lane, there was a car there. God forbid he wasn't on that side and would have smashed right into that car that was actually in the left breakdown lane, broken down and really hurt people. And so far, we've seen possibly maybe one fender bender as a result of this.
There's 4 wide. That's 4 wide. That's something that they talk about when I want to watch the NASCAR race. There you go. 4 wide. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Clip the vehicle. Now slowing down. Right.
Maybe ran out of gas.
Maybe giving up. Maybe cut a tire.
Yeah. Why else would you stop?
That was kind of an abrupt stop. Maybe a tire situation, or that was kind of an abrupt.
A tire. Yeah, it was abrupt. And now.
All right. And they're advising on the radio that the officers that are coming up on it. It's a felony stop. They're telling them not to approach the vehicle right now. They're not going to approach the vehicle. That they call out a signal 0. That means the person may be armed. He's getting out. He's getting out of the car with his arms up.
And again, we want to remind everyone this is a live situation. We're watching it along with you here. A double county chase. It started in Broward, made its way through several highways, I-95, 595, the Turnpike, a road. And now we are in northwest Miami-Dade.
And if you notice for a quick second there, yes, his hands are up.
Okay.
So after all that, he's at the driver's side with the door open.
Looks like he's still in the car, but his hands are up. He's up.
Okay, he's up.
Hands are up, turning himself in.
They're quite a distance back. There they are, back there. There's Florida Highway Patrol there, giving him instructions now, telling him to clear the car.
And he appears to be listening.
Well, he looks on a phone.
Somebody's
now he's
talking to him on the phone. He's getting a phone call. He's locking the door, shutting the door. Hands up.
Yeah,
he's going to be getting on the ground here, walking backwards.
Well, maybe he's calling, who knows?
Yeah, he's been given instructions by the police department.
And he seems to be following whatever it is they're saying. And now more and more officers
a long way back to walk.
Arriving on the scene here.
Right.
And of course, now as a result of this, it looks like the road is at a standstill. It's shut down while this comes to a conclusion.
Right. We'd be between 183rd Street and 175th Street on the equivalent of the Turnpike here, the Turnpike extension. So that's where this is all taking place right now. The suspect is not in custody. He will be momentarily.
I might have to have some cereal and try it out. I might have to
walk backwards. They'll get him.
I might have to get some Raisin Bran Crunch, fix a bowl of that, and then fix a bowl of Captain Crunch. And put them to war. Or maybe even and Fruity Pebbles too. Get 3 boxes of cereal. I don't know if this is live or not. I guess. Some weird website. Police chase, Miami. See anything.
Onto his knees there. They'll tell him to kneel down.
And then lay down and probably put the cuffs on him.
There you go. Okay, so he's in custody. All right.
So the
now you can see
they're
now focusing on the vehicle, right?
Making sure there's no one else inside the car that also might still be armed as well. Because again, for those of you just joining us, this started as a call in North Lauderdale of shots fired. When police approached that scene, this silver Mercedes took off in Broward County, ended up here in Dade County, And that's how this whole thing got started.
Right. Now, the Broward police chopper is telling the units on the ground that the front, as far as he can see, as he goes right there through the shot, he can see the front seat. He says there's no one else in the front seat, so they know that much going in now. And what they'll do now is these guys who have trained for this will assemble a team that will now go. They'll either have a shield or they'll have some
old chase
armament of some kind.
Yeah, somebody sent me this link, and I'm like,
check the rest of the vehicle.
Something didn't seem right, man. Something didn't seem right. Something was wrong, and I knew it was too good to be true. Well, there's this fire in San Bernardino. Even if I spelled it right, I don't think I spelled it right. Bernardino. I was gonna go work out. I really should go work out because I need to really bad. It's gonna make me feel better. And every time I step out, something pulls me back. Mel, did you see this? Mel, did you see that? Mel, hey Mel, hey Mel, Mel. Twitter and everything's going crazy. Come back. San Bernardino, massive fire, caliente. ¿Qué pasó? Dígame, muchachos. Muchacho diablo. Let's see. California wildfire burning down homes in San Bernardino. Evacuation underway. Okay. Sky Fox is over the scene of what is being called the Edge Hill Fire around 3 p.m. on August 5th as several homes were burning down to a crisp. I even saw a bus burning down. Damn, everything's just burning in Cali. Can't have nothing nice over there. Damn, look at that. Look at this. Like on the hill. There's like this hillside over here. Over here too. The mountain's just burning. I saw a bus burn. Man. Kitty, that's true. That is true. I always kind of want to try these layout things. I'm afraid to mess with it. But I don't know if it's going to be weird too. The Streamlabs layouts. You really don't need anything special. These themes. Let's see. Holiday, cozy, just chatting. They got for just chatting. Like a video game thing. This is actually kind of cool though. Just chatting. Wow, look at the roof of that house burning. Burning! A lot of these themes are like kid-like though. They got podcast ones. Tell me. AC unit. I wonder if there's any I can maybe see if there's any scanner audio. Broadcastify. Top feeds. We got San Bernardino. Let's check it out.
Residential structure fire low, attic engine 152-4871, Canoga Street, Unit D, between Helena Avenue and Monte Vista Avenue.
Wow. What? Solar panels still surviving. Yeah, this thing over here to the right burnt to a crisp. Whatever was there, completely burnt down. I wonder where the fire started. What's the source? Let me see if there's any other articles online that have any hints of what happened. Well, it says here the San Bernardino County Fire responded to what initially it was a vegetation fire. To what was initially a vegetation fire in Little Mountain Drive area. Wow. Oh, burnt. Look at that nice pool. I think this house is still okay, right? Whatever this is on the outside of the house. I don't know if that was a shed or a little house.
Monoxide or inhalation issue, Medic Engine 263 at Starbucks, 2536, Highland Avenue, between East Highland Avenue and Eucalyptus Drive.
What's up? What's up, man? Jesus, yeah. Where you been at? I haven't seen you in a while. Folks. Ace raisins, but we'll put pecans on fish. I think raisins are pretty good. I don't like just straight out eating raisins, but like in that cereal, I think it's a nice balance.
Thompson, Air Rescue 6.
Air Rescue 6.
Thompson, Air Rescue 6, we're available for the call on Deep Creek. No patient. We canceled 302 on scene. We'll be headed back to San Bernardino and then the rest to the fire.
Thompson, Air copies.
Sure if they can or not, but if they can, we can use it.
Mala.
Thompson, Air
copies. I should get my ass to work out. We'll do this for a little bit and see what happens for a little bit, and then maybe I'll head out because I really need to work. Developing a massive fire burning down homes. Check this out. Oh, wow. Wow.
Get out of there! Go! Go, 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 go!
Damn, bro. How long you wait to leave that shit? It's just about...
Hey, get out of there! Go!
They're just like walking
Go,
kind of
go,
almost
go,
casually.
go, go! Go!
Damn.
Come on, do not go back in! Go!
What's it going back? What's it going to save? That bro, I'm not sure about leaving her now. Bruh.
Com Center Medic Squad 226.
Go ahead.
Let me tweet this out. I gotta
This updated location is going to be East 30th, across East Linwood.
Thompson, Air copies.
I forgot my phone.
Com Center HLIC.
HLIC.
Like to place an order for one dozer PDU under the local agreement, and the AREP's approved it on scene.
Copies.
HLIC also just confirming that the order has been placed for the 2 immediate knee strike teams.
That's affirmative.
Copy, thank you.
Fall victim, Medic Engine 212, 1609, West Valley Boulevard, between West Valley Boulevard and No Cross Street.
I copy.
There's like a lot of smoke coming out of a little chimney thing there. I haven't seen that.
I see you from Ridgeline.
Michigan.
2 Command 2.
I'll have to check it out.
Go ahead, 2 Command 2.
All right, I got a slope reversal. It's making a run to the homes on Ridgeline. Give me what you got in staging.
Right, nothing in staging. We're waiting for the additional strike team to get here. We do have aircraft overhead.
Okay, well, if I can get a drop along Ridgeline to the homes.
Shoes are really uncomfortable.
Until I see Center.
Go ahead.
Additional resident is reporting 808 Edge Hill residence is now on fire.
Can you give me the phone number for the on-duty investigator for our district?
I copy.
Wow. No, I haven't really said what caused the fire. They said, the original call was for some type of vegetation fire.
Comm Center, Medic Engine 26 is available in city limits.
Let's see if there's anything
Comm Center copies.
Chow 1.
And then just notify me if you get a second call on the alarm.
I copy. Medic Engine 305 cancel.
305 in your seat.
It is preparation is key, and that's what it comes down to, especially this time of year when this is the height of our fire season and all the elements are coming together as we expected they would.
We're going to order
forward into the season, and we have at least another month or two that we're going to be dealing with this.
I know we already got the 2 immediate strike teams.
Yeah, no doubt. And Marina, we want to show now a little bit of the evacuations here on your screen right there, south side of and south of Ridge Line Drive. Also, north side and north of Edge Hill Road, west to and including Beverly Drive. And again, as we've been mentioning, that evacuation center open at Marshall Elementary School. You see the address there, 3288 North G Street. That might be a great location to set up with any family members or if you have friends in the area as a meeting location, because it's going to be very chaotic in this area. And I'm sure they're going to want to keep the roads clear for any fire crews or any emergency vehicles that need to get in there. And of course, we're monitoring this from the air with our Desmond Shaw and also Mike Rogers on the
their breath because you can see that fire, it's just chewing through all that vegetation on the ground, and the vegetation looks like it would be more like defensible space. It looks like dry. It's not super thick brush.
Correct. Like we said, this is a fast-moving ground fire. However, it doesn't take much for it to get up into a home. And then when we do have a structure that starts burning, we have all the components that are coming out of that burning structure that can contribute to the fire spread. So that goes beyond our traditional wildland hose lines that are a lot lighter. They flow less water, but when we get structures involved, it's time to utilize our heavier lines with our heavier water flow. Not only to knock down the structure involved, but to prevent spread to adjacent structures.
All right. We're encouraged to see a CAL FIRE helicopter arrive on scene, hopefully helping out. And did you see, you can see someone trying to hose down their back
today at approximately Bernardino and Harold.
That's a firefighter, not a resident.
Powell.
Yeah. Okay.
Julie was taken into custody.
And was that a helicopter that was able to do water drops, or are they assessing the area? Did you get a good look at that helicopter?
So, and yes, that is a CAL FIRE. I am just on the west side of where he came in. So they perform a multitude of functions. In addition to bringing in firefighters that they can offload and put them to work, they will perform those water drops. They can give very credible intelligence back to our incident commanders when they have that sky-high view of what the fire is doing and where it's going, time to impact on structures that may be threatened. So we have a multitude of things that are taking place in a single aircraft at any given time.
Wow. So brave, those helicopters.
We are very lucky to have the firefighters that we do here in California. And we're going to, let's see here. Eric Sherwin, we want to really appreciate, we want to thank you so much, and we really appreciate the time that you've spent with us to give us some insight into this fire and continue the good work. And we really appreciate the time you spent with us. And we're going to check out the weather, because obviously it's a big deal for the firefighters to be dealing with 109 degrees right there. Danny, what can you tell us about the conditions there?
Yeah, the temperatures have been certainly the hot areas, and certainly in the areas you're showing you.
Another fire, man. Another Cali burning. More homes gone. Adoption scam says dry vegetation can cause spontaneous combustion and start fires. Okay.
And the humidities are well below the 20s. We're like in the teens, 12-15% has the humidity. So it's very, very dry conditions. The other thing to watch for, we kind of saw that on the video, is how those flames move uphill. What tends to happen in a fire, especially along a hillside, is that the flames are heating the ground above it, so it just naturally feeds up towards the hill, because all that ground above it is dry, and it preheats it with the flames, so that naturally that flames just quickly drive up that hill, and that's what you have a real concern right now. So that, just a natural pattern of that fire going uphill quickly. You then kind of fan the flames a bit with the winds in that 15-20 mile per hour range, and of course the very, very hot temperatures, 105 to 110. We're seeing the humidities right there in that teen range as well. So yeah, all the things that really make it difficult for those incredible firefighters are in line right now in that area.
Seeing a lot of pink there and a lot of orange, and it's just not a good sight.
Yeah,
excessive heat warnings.
These advisories and warnings are all in that 105 to 115 range as far as the temperatures are concerned, and very low humidities on top of that.
Yeah, and still more than 24 hours to go until this advisory ends.
I know, and Danny, we've been talking about it. You guys have been monitoring the excessive heat. We've had such an extremely hot summer so far. We're just into the beginning.
Okay. Wow.
Beginning of August, but destructive this fire is. Again, it's called the Edge Hill Fire, and it is burning in San Bernardino County. We were talking about the evacuation orders that were put in place. Ellen, we said, it might sound a little confusing for some of us who aren't there right now, but we do know that those living on the south side of and south of Ridge Line Drive, all those residents living on the north side and north of Edge Hill Road, and west and including Beverly Drive, which is sort of right there, the epicenter. We know it started on the 3300 block of Beverly Drive, this fire around 2:30, and east of Circle Road. You are being told you must evacuate. We know that Marshall Elementary at 3200 North G Street, that's going to be open for evacuated residents. So again, you can go to Marshall Elementary. Many people know this area. Again, we were talking earlier with San Bernardino County Fire. This area is no stranger to fires. They have, they know their evacuation plans. They know when they see smoke and flames, they need to prepare to evacuate. But they certainly did not have a lot of time to evacuate from this fire.
Yeah, right now we have on the phone Brandy Carlos. She's a fire photojournalist. And Brandy, you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi, I understand that you're on the front lines. Can you tell us what does your job entail, and how close do you get to this fire?
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, I get pretty close. I have a history and a background, with the fire department. So, I've been trained, and I get right up in, on the lines with these men and women. And right now, this is a really fast-moving, dangerous fire. A lot of these neighborhoods that run on the foothills of Little Mountain and San Bernardino have, the brush is very thin. So when you get a little bit of wind on it, it pushes really, really quickly, very fast. And then a lot of these homes are covered with very large canopies. And I'm sure as you can see from the air and, some stuff that I've posted online, that it's just, the fire is literally hopping from yard to yard. It's torching, going up into these trees. It's getting on the roofs. It's sending major ember casts all over this whole neighborhood. And, I mean, it's just mass destruction here right now. We have several homes on fire. They're trying to do their best to, structure protection on as many as they can. And this is just really, really devastating and sad to see.
Yeah, it really is heartbreaking to see. Brandy, you said you're talking to residents as well. What have they been saying to you? Because again, we've talked about it. This area has seen fires in the past. What have you been talking about with the specifically to this fire, which has been called the Edge Hill Fire?
There has been quite a few residents that have not wanted to evacuate. A lot of them are used to having fires on this mountain. And normally, it's not like this. They get them out very quickly. So a lot of people have been reluctant to leave, and they're trying to protect their homes. But in a situation like this, when, home after home is catching fire, and you have to leave. So I'm advising residents to get out. Don't stay behind. There's people that are trying to grab as many things as they can, save their animals, and we're all just kind of, trying to help. I burned my hand earlier. I'm also, it's all hands on deck out here. I am a photographer, but I'm going to ultimately do what I can at the same time. So definitely trying to put out little spot fires here and there in the yards.
That must be really disheartening, though, when you see these people not leaving, because I have been in an evacuation zone before with this back in the day, and telling us to be ready to stand by and leave and have your car packed, and you have to heed that warning. You don't have a lot of time, and you got to just figure out what you want to take and get in your car and leave. But it's, especially with these windy, narrow roads and a one way out, one way up. Some of these hillsides that we're looking at right now, there we're watching some Cal Fire water drops, and pretty successful there, right on it, but you can see it doesn't make that much difference each drop, because of that fire is so strong and so large compared to the water drop.
And also, Brandy, what are some of the images that you have been taking? We obviously know of fires, but what are you seeing that if you are, you're a fire photojournalist, so every fire sort of is unique to its own situation. Has there been anything sort of surprising to you, or that you've been seeing a lot of?
This year, I think, we've had a lot of rain. We have a lot of growth on the vegetation. We've been very, very hot. We've had extended heat waves. Everything just, dried out very, very quickly. And a lot of our mountains and our hillsides and the foothills, they have really thick brush. And, not in most cases, these firefighters put fires out very quickly. But when you have a little bit of wind, even 5, 10, 15 miles an hour, it's significant, and it really pushes and fuels the fire, and it creates it and makes it stronger. And, we talk about defensible space. If you live in an area that is prone to fires, do the best you can. Ask for help if you don't have any, and, really keep kind of some great defensible space around your house. But, there are people here that do have defensible space, and it's not helping. When we have such large trees, and this is a beautiful community, and it's really sad to see what's happening right now, but it's just the wind, the ember cast, it just blows and it keeps going, and it's basically just hitting one house and going to the next.
Mm-hmm. We've seen quite a few cars. We even saw an RV go up in flames, which that poses its own problem.
Yes, absolutely. I'm actually on that street. I'm on Vista right now, where the RV did burn down, and initially it didn't, but the house across the street that was lost, the fire was so intense coming off that house, it kind of burned everything that was in its path, and that RV was right across the street from it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
They're saying rumor of a black SUV spotted leaving Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's residence, as rumors that he will be picked by VP, or as VP escalate. Okay. Maybe he's going to be the next one. They were saying Shapiro, but maybe it's this person.
Stop spraying the water and evacuate. Hey, you guys on the hill, stop spraying, evacuate.
They're trying to save their home.
Stop spraying the water and evacuate. Hey, you guys on the hill, stop spraying, evacuate. Stop spraying the water and evacuate. Hey, you guys.
That sucks, man. Those people gotta. Wow.
A lot of people who truly do rely on certain medications and things that are imperative to their health, they do have these go bags. They have things set up in their cars. I'm sure several people here just have a small amount of things, even if it's just for 24 to 48 hours, so then they can get their prescriptions filled.
We want to point out on the right-hand side, this is Brandy Carlos's video. That Brandy's on the phone with us. And Brandy, we're showing your video. And boy, you sure get close right up. What is your handle? Just so people can find you and follow you?
Fire Photo Girl.
Fire Photo Girl. Okay. Wow. I'm watching your video right now, and it's just incredible that you are that close. That must be a little scary sometimes.
It is, absolutely. And the heat it's not good. It's very hot. I had to take a break several times, just trying to catch my breath because it's really hard. It's really hard on the body. It's hard on everybody out here trying to fight these fires. I've seen firefighters come running out of the back of a house that, took a lot of heat, and you have to kind of step away for a second and, catch your breath and then go back in.
Yeah. I have to ask you, how does one become a fire photo girl? I'm just curious, how did that start?
It was a long story, but yeah, it started when I was young. I was always into photography. I had a passion for first responders, emergency type photography, and then it evolved into, going to work for a fire department, and then, media and photos and videos was just my passion. So I pursued that after fire department life, and now I work for RMG News also as well, so I do a lot of news coverage.
Okay.
And I cover all over California, fire season. Right. And like we all know, fire season can be every single month. I've had years where I've gone to fires, from January to up until Christmas Day.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately, that is the case.
This is probably going to be a bad year. I know every year they say it's going to be a bad year, but, we've had a lot of rain. We had relatively mild fire seasons the last 2 years, so I think this is just kind of the warm-up to, what we could experience later in the next couple of months, because we don't even have Santa Anas right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
And that's what I was going to talk to you about, Brandy. Anyone who covers fires, you are going to be very well versed in it. When you go out to cover these fires, for somebody like us, we're watching, and a lot of the viewers are watching this, but fires, they create their own weather within these firestorms. And it's really, can you describe what it's like sometimes when you go in and you're driving there and it's probably kind of calm around you, and then you get into sort of the eye of the storm because you're so close, you have such access, and obviously the firefighters certainly trust you. But tell us about what you experience when you get out, the winds and what have you.
Like you said, you never know. When I leave the house, I never know what I'm kind of getting into. When I first got here to the Edge Hill fire, you could see it burning down, coming down the hill into the neighborhoods. Kind of really didn't look like a whole lot. It looked like, okay, maybe they're getting a handle on it. And then out of nowhere, things can change dramatically. It started getting into the trees. It started getting windier. You're getting a lot of stuff that's burning here inside the homes, the vehicles, like the RV that you saw. All of that is really toxic. So just imagine being in
one of the last fires that we covered. It was some nut job. It's some dude trying to push a car down a valley or something, and caused like this huge fire.
Interesting perspective to hear it from you, and you stay safe out there. It's very dangerous what you're doing, and just stay safe.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Brandy. And you can see images from Air 7. Chris Christie, you're live on board. We see a massive fire. This fire is really devastating today.
Colleen, this is just a devastating sight here right along Ridgeline Drive. This entire neighborhood south of Ridgeline Drive now ordered to evacuate. Again, they are using Marshall Elementary School as the evacuation center. At this point, you can see there are several fire crews in this neighborhood and at least one CAL FIRE helicopter overhead making water drops over this residential neighborhood. This fire is surrounding at least a dozen separate residents, and you can see about a half a dozen of those have already been lost. Some very thick black smoke coming from Circle Drive there. You can see one home fully engulfed, a separate home across the way there also fully engulfed, and then a third home now with active flames coming through the roof of that house. So we have 3 active fires at the very least. There's also an RV that has caught on fire down there, and always remember, behind that black smoke is more property that is on fire. We're coming around the south side now, and I want to give you a little bit of a little help if you're familiar with this area in terms of the area affected. We're talking about the neighborhood south of Ridgeline Drive, north of Beverly Drive, and the group of homes that you see are on fire here are encompassing El Camino Road, Vista Drive, Circle Road, and Hillhurst Drive. These are the dozen or so homes that are in an imminent threat right now. You can see more homes in the way of this fire if this continues the way it is. Again, there are limited resources in this neighborhood right now. plenty more on the way. It's going to take some time to really get effective structure protection in place here. There are some crews already on the scene, but you can see here just a little too late for some of the homes here in the Shandon Hills section of San Bernardino. This is Shandon Hills on the east side of a giant hill that basically has a tendency to create its own wind and weather, if you will, as Brandy was mentioning. Even though it's not a very windy day, the breeze can behave very differently when it bounces up against that terrain there, and you can see that entire hillside has gone up in flames. It's all charred up there as those flames race towards Canyon Terrace Drive at the top of that plateau, and hopefully those will be man-made fire breaks that halt the progress, at least going westward, of this fire. But right now, all eyes are on those homes further east here, as we've counted at least 3 or 4 homes now up in flames, and again, a couple of others that have already burnt to the ground, guys.
That are just so tough to see. They're tough to watch. We do see that firefight taking place. Chris, we know we talked earlier, 200 firefighters are trying to battle this fire. At least we see the helicopters coming, trying to make really good progress. They are doing a good job, but boy, this is a really intense, a hard firefight for these firefighters.
A little pedal turn. We just lost icon.
Okay. And Chris? All right.
All right. Well, again, you're looking at live images right now happening in San Bernardino County. And for those of you just joining us, I'm Colleen Sullivan in for David Ono.
And I'm Ellen Leyva. So we're going to recap the latest on this brush fire that's burning your homes in San Bernardino. The so-called Edge Hill fire first started about 2:30 this afternoon on Beverly Drive in the Little Mountain community, a community that has seen fires before. At least 200 firefighters, as Colleen just mentioned, they're fighting the flames right now from the ground and in the air.
And evacuations, they are underway to dozens of homes, including people living near Ridgeline Drive and Edge Hill Road. An evacuation center has been established at Marshall Elementary. That is located on 3288 North G Street. And we're talking about this fire. We've been following this all afternoon. We know this started around 2:30, but boy, it has devoured some very large properties. It's also burned RVs and cars, and people did not get a lot of advance notice to get out and evacuate. So a lot of people trying to get just what they can and make it safe.
Right, and we've had Chris Christie up in Air 7 who's been following it from the sky, and it seems like we keep seeing more homes go up in flames, Chris. We just saw a home that looked just like another one that was burning.
Yeah, but by our count up here, we've counted at least 5 or 6 so far. Right now, the focus is these two right here. Actually, three homes in this shot right here. You have that large home near the bottom of your screen, right along Vista Drive. Right across the street is a second house that has almost burnt to the ground already, and then just to the north of that, near Hillhurst Drive, is a separate large home with, you could see, very heavy flames shooting through the roof of that home. And what you don't see in this shot are fire crews anywhere near that block. They just can't get through it. There's too much fire and too much smoke to get up Vista Drive or to get up Hillhurst Drive. They're having to station a block or two away in either direction to even begin to pull out their hand lines and at least protect the homes that are in the wake of this fire. But right now, we're seeing 3 homes at least that are on fire, a separate 2 or 3 that have already burnt to the ground here. But the potential here, unfortunately, is concerning. You can see homes right there next to that house that's on fire. Just to the left of it is a single-family residence, by my estimation there, that is also vulnerable here. There's definitely some potential for exposure, as you can see that thick black plume of smoke blowing from west to east. That is air that's bouncing off that hillside, creating its own little wind swirl, and then blowing the smoke towards the north and towards the west. So that's very, very thick black smoke that's enveloping this entire neighborhood here in the Shandon Hills area of San Bernardino. Again, there are a couple of hundred firefighters dedicated to this fire, but accessing this fire and getting into position where they can effectively fight that fire, that takes time, and this fire was spreading way too fast for some of these homes, and we can tell you there's at least 1 helicopter already making water drops along these streets. Here come a crew of firefighters stretching hand lines up Vista Drive to do what they can to try and tamp down and wet some of these exposures here. A little too late for that house on the left, but if they could prevent that fire from spreading, they will try at all costs to do so. You can see firefighters now on the roof of that neighboring building that looks like it might have been touched by flames earlier on, or perhaps it is an abandoned residence. I can't quite tell, but it does look like they are trying to get water on that house right there. So you can see structure protection now taking place along Vista Drive. If you are watching us from anywhere near this neighborhood, be advised that the areas south of Ridgeline and north of Edge Hill are under an evacuation order for very good reason, guys.
Oh my goodness. So, wow. We're going to show you the evacuation map right now in case you're just tuning in. The evacuation orders are, excuse me, I'm choking up for a second, calling you. I need to clear my throat and get some water.
Yeah, that's okay. Here's the evacuation map we were just talking about. You can see quite a large area of homeowners, residents being impacted by this. We know that people living on the south side of and south of Ridgeline Drive, all of those residents on the north side and north of Edge Hill Drive, west to and including Beverly Drive and east to Circle Road. We know this is really impacting all of you, but you see these canyons. You know it's an intricate area for these firefighters to get to. We know that Chris was saying on Vista Drive.
All right, so there's a standoff going on. I'm trying to get a good screenshot. The camera's very wobbly. I don't know what's gonna annoy people. Let me see.
Over here.
Might stream that too, or start a new stream and just watch both. Maybe the fire and the standoff. The only thing is the camera's very.
Hey, Matt Pineapple, how you doing? This is Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and it's a state police SWAT.
State police SWAT. Oh, in New Mexico?
Rob, they already did. They already did, Rob. They already did. I believe they already did breach the home because they brought in the Rook.
Where's the Rook? I want to see the Rook. I was trying to find a picture of the Rook. Let me see. Did he put it on?
Yes. If you are hanging out, please do hit that like button.
Yeah,
it does help the channel, and I am still continuing to try to grow the channel. And it's an epic thank you to you, the viewers, for getting the channel up to 5,000. It's literally you, the viewers. I'm just bringing you guys some various stories.
It was a Rook.
Hey, Kate, how you doing? This is Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and this is State Police SWAT. The State Police already brought in the dozer, their killdozer, as we call it.
Wobble, 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 wobble.
And sorry for the shaky video. I didn't bring any of my stuff with me, so I'm holding it like a pleb. Hey, Rio, how you doing?
Okay, so I'll make a new stream, I guess. Well, I'm gonna make a thumbnail first. We'll figure it out.
Right, Rob? That's usually the case.
Brush, except for these big, large, beautiful trees.
And that roof doesn't look like it's a tile roof. I wonder what type of roof that is, and that you see some of these tile roofs don't go up in flames quite as quickly, but that one is certainly going to be a total loss. It is flames coming out of every single window and out the top, and it's sad to see that.
It's always sad to see this, and it's great to see, when we first got onto this, that the water dropping helicopters had not arrived. So to see them, we know the sort of resource they are to get to some of these fires, because Chris was saying, we've been watching it. It's just so difficult to see for the firefighters to get really close. And look at that. That fire is so hot and producing so much smoke, and really toxic smoke as well. But again, we haven't been able to count how many fires, how many homes have gone up, or structures or outhouses, but we know that it is going to be devastating when the smoke clears. But Danny Ramiro, he's also been watching this and tracking the weather conditions. We know earlier we heard from San Bernardino County Fire, Danny, that on the ground of this fire, it's 109 degrees, and that's not including their fire gear.
Yeah, I mean, right on top of that. So we're going to get that real intense heat, especially right around the fire area. area. Along with that humidity is very, very low. So, man, that really makes it miserable there. We do see that the temperatures right in that 105, 110, 112 range. Pretty much most of the peak heat here in the afternoon. Add into that, Colleen and Ellen, we're going to see the winds, again, 15, 20 mile per hour gusts are running through there. You're talking about those embers being blown. And that certainly is part of that weather picture. You get those embers going in those fires, and then it's a little bit of wind picks them up, moves them to another place, and just sets off right away, because there too, very, very dry conditions. We get the very, very hot conditions as well. And as a matter of fact, a couple of things are kind of affected by it. First, let's talk about the heat and the heat advisories and the warnings in effect right now. The areas in the pink, those are your heat warnings, excessive heat warnings. Those temperatures are in that 110 to 115 range and have been for the last few days. So that heat and the dryness really has been building up, certainly. The areas here in the kind of orange color, that's going to be your heat advisories. Those temperatures not quite as intense, but we're still talking about numbers in that 105, 110 range. So certainly that's some areas of concern. So in those spots, just the heat alone.
Okay, so I got a fire. We got a standoff. Rio Rancho. Show what's going on, Rio Rancho. It's shaky.
Wow, all of this for one person. All this for one flipping person. What a waste.
Oh, shit.
What a waste. What a colossal waste of money.
Talk that shit.
All this for one person. Colossal waste of money. Look at all these units. All this for one flipping person. What a colossal waste of money. Here we go. Nothing yet, Steve. Nothing yet. See, all of this colossal waste of money. I'd say there's like 30 officers out here, a combination of state and city, state police as well as Rancho police.
All right, guys, we're gonna move you over.
Colossal waste.
We'll keep an eye on the fire. We'll move over, cover this for a bit.